Exercise 1.4.60 Gas cutting of MS plate. Objectives: mark cutting lines on the plate by keeping proper cutting allowance. Set the job for straight, bevel, circle and profile cutting. Select the cutting nozzle number and the cutting oxygen pressure for different plate thickness. Adjust the preheating flames and preheat the metals. Cut straight line, bevel, circle and profile by hand and machine. Clean the gas cut edges and inspect for defects.
Job sequence. Set the cutting machine and connect the oxygen and acetylene cylinders, regulators to the hoses of the machine and fix a suitable cutting nozzle. Fit the circular and profile template on the cutting machine table. Clean the surface of the metal plate to be cut. Select and fix the nozzle as per the thickness of the plate to be cut. Clean the track on which the cutting torch assembly unit is mounted and the circular and profile templates and make sure that there is no dirt on them. Check the starting lever and ensure that it is in neutral position. Set the required pressure of oxygen and acetylene according to the size of the nozzle. Set the required speed in the speed control dial according to the thickness of the metal to be cut. Adjust the nozzle to a height such that the inner cone of the preheating flame is 3 mm from the surface of the metal to be cut. Place the cutting machine at the starting point. Ignite and set the neutral flame. Allow for sufficient preheating and then switch on the jet of oxygen. Simultaneously, switch on the machine to move the cutting unit forward with the correct speed on the rails to make a straight line cut. Stop the machine and turn the switch to neutral position at the end of the cut. Set the cutting nozzle to 30-degree angle and cut the bevel similar to the straight line cut. Turn the job plate by 180 degrees and cut the 60-degree bevel angle by setting the cutting nozzle to 60 degrees. Arrest the linear movement of the cutting unit of the machine with the rails using a clamp and attach it to the pivot block used for cutting circles and profiles. Set the pivot block to get the required diameter and fix it on the machine table. Set the cutting nozzle perpendicular to the job plate and ignite it and set the preheating flame. When the plate becomes red hot, open the stream of cutting oxygen and cut the circle. For profile cutting, attach the template of the profile to the machine table and make the cutting head unit to follow the profile. After the cut is over, stop all machine movements and remove the slag from all the gas cut surfaces. Use tongs while handling the gas cut job. Ensure that the molten slag, diving cutting and solidified hot slag chipped after cutting fall into a collecting through kept below the table. Clean the cutting edges from slag and inspect the cut for gas cutting defects. Skill sequence. The assembly of the machine, the use of templates or systems of reproduction, the position of the work, the speed range and cutting nozzles vary according to the type of the machines. Assemble the accessories like cutting head for straight and bevel cutting with the cutting machine. Select the 1.2 meter size of the cutting nozzle for 10 mm thick plate. Set the correct gas pressure of 0.15 kg per square centimeter for acetylene and 1.4 to 2 kg per square centimeter for oxygen for 1.2 mm size nozzle. Set the machine to run freely as per the regulated speed, that is 50 centimeters per minute for 10 mm thick plate. Ignite the flame and adjust the neutral flame. Set the nozzle tip to a correct distance from the surface of the plate to be cut, that is about 7 to 8 mm. Start the machine and run to the required distance to cut the metal. Switch off the machine and extinguish the flame at the end of the cut. Remove the plate, clean the iron oxide slag and inspect the cut surface. For cutting a bevel edge, tilt the cutting torch nozzle to the required angle and follow the same skill sequence followed for straight line cutting. For cutting a circle, attach cutting torch nozzle to the pivot block and follow the same method used to cut straight line and bevel. It is important to pierce a small hole inside the circumference of the circle to be cut and then move the torch to the nearest point on the circumference. Then use the pivot block to move the flame along the circumference of the circle. To cut a profile, the same sequence used for circle cutting is followed, except that a template similar to the profile to be cut is mounted on the table and a tracer attached to the cutting head will follow the template profile. The torch flame will cut the profile on the job.